What's up, fellow YouTubers? I know it's been a very long time since I've done a video. I've been super duper busy with work and life in general. Just haven't had a whole lot of time to even do anything. There's a lot of projects I've had planned for the summer that I want to do. I haven't even had a chance to get to them. So, I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update on what's going on with the tank. As you can see, I've got a new clam over to the right there, and as you see, there was something that just swam by that is a new addition. As far as the clams go, I've got one blue crochet. Oh, and my fish just took a nice hay bale of a dump. Thanks, dear. And then I have one that's a blue-green that's kind of turned at an angle. And then down at the very bottom, you'll see a little black lightning maxima clam. I came across that deal at my local fish store that I buy all my corals from, and he's been competing with another aquarium fish store in our area, and they've been going head to head trying to get the best deals to the customers, and the customers are definitely reaping the benefits. So, as you can see, that just swam into the camera, I got a 8-inch hippo tang, or they call them a regal tang, or a painter's palette type tang. When I got her, she was very skittish, and I had a big concern about my purple tang. My purple tang, believe it or not, has been doing extremely well. I basically did an old trick that one of my local fish store guys that I buy all my stuff from, that I got the clam from, and blah blah blah, gave me a trick that I was curious to see if it would even work. If it works for you guys, great. If it doesn't, it worked for me. What I did is I basically quarantined the hippo tang like normal, and then I introduced her and the purple tang into the system via putting them down in the refugium. Granted, the refugium was a very small, cramped spot for the tang, the hippo tang, even though she was so big. Yeah, I know it's not something that people recommend doing, but what it did was basically reset the territory boundaries with my purple tang. And as you can see, he's going crazy. Why he's doing this, I don't know. He must have got some his crack this morning. I fed him a nori strip. I got him some of that Julian Sprung's sea veggies or something like that. I won it at one of my raffles with my club. But enough of that. The tank itself has been doing pretty good. Sad news to report, when I switched to the Red Sea regular salt, I went from the Red Sea Pro to the regular Red Sea. The parameters that are on the container, they say 420 for calcium. I've been running about 405. Magnesium, it says 1350. I've been running about 1200. And as far as DKH or KH, it says it runs it at 7.5. Oh, lovely. You just see all that stuff spray. My tang's got a hold of the nori strip, and it caught my MP40. And the MP40 is like a little Cuisinart. Anything that gets caught in it, it just shreds it. But as far as back to the parameters, I'm really not happy with the parameters on the salt. So I'm thinking about eventually slowly going to another brand, but I got to figure out how I'm going to do it without shocking the entire system. If you do a water change from one brand to another that's, say, natural sea salt compared to synthetic, you can run the risk of killing all your SPS corals. What happens is during that change, when you're changing from one salt to the other and trying to slowly, over a couple weeks' time, basically change your salt, the corals cannot take that initial shock. So the only other way that through some research that I found that you can do this is basically take all your corals out, do your switch over, and then switch it back. The fish will survive it. The fish will do okay. It's the corals that will not. And that's where my problem comes in. That's where I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I really don't want to take all my corals out that are well seeded and disturb them. I may just have to stick with it and start dosing. With all the SPS in my system and the corals that I have as far as clams and things like that, it's starting to suck my calcium levels down, and my DKH, KH/KH, and my magnesium. This is aside from my normal parameters that I'm getting. I was telling you about the 405 on the calcium and such. It's sucking it down even farther. So I've been having to dose every day to get the system to stay within check. And that's becoming kind of a pain. So I got to find something that will maintain my parameters without it sucking it down too much, because I do weekly water changes. I do basically 25 gallons every single week on my water, and it's still pulling the calcium and my magnesium and DKH down. I've been dosing it and keeping it maintained. That's why things are doing okay. But it's this hobby, that's where these suppliers, they get you with the dosing and such. On to other notes. The tank itself, it's been doing good. I've got the brand new lighting system that's above it, the Tech 8. That's doing fantastic. Haven't really seen any bleaching with the corals. Everything seems to be growing really well. I did upgrade to one more daylight bulb, and when I had basically one daylight, all the blues, and one Fiji purple, it was just way too blue for me, and I wasn't seeing enough coral growth. As soon as I switched to one more daylight bulb and left everything the way it was, the coral growth has been through the roof. You're seeing white tips on everything. As far as coral, I haven't really bought anything new. I'm just letting everything grow out. I've got a second MP40 on there now. But other than that, everything's just growing just fine. That's as far as kind of where the tank's at the moment. So I'm going to do a slow pan across the tank, kind of show you what and how the coral look. Red planet's taken off really well. A lot of my chalices and stuff are doing really, really well. If you look in the bottom left there, I've got a lot of chalices and some acans. That's kind of their corner, because they're stinging the shit out of everything. So, everything else is doing really well. Tank's doing good. Fish are doing good. The purple tang's doing good. He's not being a little territorial punk like the rest of them were, or like he's being previous when I stuck the royal tang or the regal tang, or what they call the hippo tang, down there with him and reset his little territory boundaries. Seeing that she's also a really, really big fish, he's kind of got a respect for that. So he's definitely been put in check and been put in his place. So that's kind of where I'm at with the tank, and that's how things are going. Any question, guys? Just remember, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day, and happy reefing.